to give this one more go and just see if we can get it live. It'll be pre-recorded, so as always you're going to get it sent to you afterwards. So we're going to strive all the way through, and then you're going to get an email from me. It's going to be posted on Facebook anyway, and there should be no problems there. We don't have to worry about modern technologies. But hello, I'm Terry from Rennet and Rind. We've been doing these mystery boxes over the COVID lockdown, and they've been a massive success. And today I was saying I was feeling a bit positive, there was more cars on the road, the eat out to help out seems to be working, and it just seems like maybe we're just getting a little bit of normality back, which I was quite pleased with. So I thought, you know what, I would do this live and just see how it goes, answer some questions from some people, just kind of feel the spirit of the long bank holiday weekend. So I've already eaten into some because I went all pixelated and weird, so sorry that my cheese board is a mess, but I've already enjoyed these cheeses. But we will start again, so ignore me for the first two cheeses. If you did tune in and happen to get me, that's the key thing. So the first cheese up, 5 British cheeses. First cheese, the ever reliable Baron Bigod. Now I already know what this tastes like, and I know what it tastes like now, but it's made by Johnny and Dulcie Crickmore down in Suffolk, just in a lovely little place called Bungay, which is in the Waveney kind of valley. It's a beautiful place, and they're real kind of raw milk, power raw milk kind of people. And Johnny and Dulcie wanted to make this cheese many years ago, and they got a Frenchman in to help them out. And he said, I will not make this cheese without any Montbéliard cows. Johnny and Dulcie straight over to France and got these amazing cows, which were Montbéliard, which are world famous for making amazing cheeses, and they have a huge low yield, but they've got like a real good resistance to kind of like diseases and things like that, which kind of makes them better for kind of animal husbandry. But also they've got like this really rich, amazing milk, which creates amazing cheeses like this, the Baron Bigod. Raw milk, unpasteurized, that is, animal rennet. It's got this typical bloomy white rind, which is kind of like a camembert type thing. And yeah, so let's cut a bit into this, and we'll do the smells again, which I remember what they are. So this one is a little bit like, it's got the breakdown on the outside and a lactic core, so a little bit kind of younger than usual, but these flavours on here are really savoury and kind of quite strong, where these ones with the lactic you get a little bit of acidity there sometimes, and I kind of wanted that in the board because we don't have much at all at the moment. So the aroma, there's that really strong droll kind of mushroomy earth kind of grassy buttery kind of thing going on, which is it's an amazing aroma, and that's kind of just what their milk actually tastes like. It's got that kind of element to it, which is obviously understandable. So taste. Texture is lovely, chewy, bit claggy, quite smooth, kind of like a butter, like sort of a butter just kind of out of the fridge type thing, or just a little bit out of the fridge. Real savoury notes there, and then not too much lactic, but no, there is at the end. There's lactic at the end, which is quite nice to finish on. So you get these deep, mushroomy kind of brothy notes, then finish with a nice little kind of finish on a bit of lactic, which is kind of like a self palate cleanser, which is quite lovely. Beautiful cheese, it's always reliable. Next cheese, Berkswell, another amazing raw milk cheese. Sheep's milk this one is. So if you take a look at the rind, this is really gnarly kind of rind, proper like salt of the earth type cheese. They let it mature and let the elements and the environment in the maturing rooms do what they need to do, and yeah, it produces an amazing cheese. The textures we can see, like as you break it, it's crumbly, but it's fine. It's not like a big chunks Wensleydale type thing. It's kind of Manchego aged Parmesan-esque, which I would imagine we get that dryness in the flavour. Well, I know because I tried a little while ago. So let's try it. I tried before Aroma, just because I've done this cheese already. But the aroma is very fresh, a little bit sheepy, a little bit nutty, but really kind of like not too kind of like farmyardy kind of thing. The flavour, the texture is beautiful as well. That thin breakdown that we were talking about is coating me palate, and coating my palate and making me kind of want to drink more. So lo and behold, I bring in one of Cambridge's best exports, Cambridge Distillery. The guy who does this, I think he's called David, I forget his name, makes this Negroni, which I love Negronis, as many people know. And it's today he got a Master of Wine. So he's the first distiller, master distiller, and Master of Wine, when I think there's only like 8 or 9 in the world. So the guy's phenomenal at what he does. And if you're ever in Cambridge, really try some Cambridgeian, because it's phenomenal. So because this has got the savoury edge, a little bit of lemon, what I was hoping for was the Negroni to have a little bit of kind of like bitters in there, which it does. I mean, that is a beautiful Negroni by them. It's like a one-off limited edition. I don't know if they're doing it as a standard, but I saw it, I was like, I must have it. Many cheese friends, when I go to the World Cheese Awards, we kind of do the cheese bit and then it's straight to the bar for Negroni. So we're kind of well renowned for. I'm looking at Cheese Explorer. Check her out on Instagram. She loves a Negroni. Drew Baker, who's an amazing charcuterie maker. Tempest, the best British charcuterie. He loves a Negroni. Yeah, I shouldn't be talking about those exploits on World Cheese Awards like that. So flavour, savoury, a little bit of lime kind of in the back, lemon, bit of acidity, texture is drier, more, you know, this cheese as well is really versatile. That'd be amazing just on like shaved on a salad. We actually last night was doing a few bits and bobs and I shaved a bit onto some bread, just to kind of toasted it a little bit, just to have with our ravioli, just as something different. It's a brilliant kind of combination cheese for cooking as well as an amazing cheese ball cheese. So that's Berkswell. Next cheese is very cool. I put out the sirens like 3 weeks ago that I got my hands on this amazing cheese called Alpencheddar. It's amazing because it's a new kind of technique. It's 2 countries coming together. The amazing Mary Quick, who is a woman and a force to be reckoned with in the cheese industry. And it's also kind of, well, half made by Mary and half made by Kraus in Germany. So they came together at a wedding and were talking about different cheese techniques, and essentially you put your culture into the milk, that dictates what cheese you're going to make, and then you put rennet in and it sets like jelly. You cut it, drain off the whey and get these little globules that you put in a mould, and that's your cheese form. At that point, Quickes then put their Quickes Mature, which we're going to try a little bit later. That combines together to give this Alpencheddar, this really surreal, amazing experience. I mean, when they sent this for me to try, I kind of sent them all a voice note and I was kind of effing and jeffing about how kind of amazing it is. Because it's very, you know, I've eaten a lot of cheese in my years. It's like 8 years now that I've kind of been in the industry. World Cheese Awards, I think, I mean, I've eaten so much cheese, you know, sort of kilos upon kilos a week. And it's very rare that something takes you aback and goes, oh, I've never tasted anything like this. And Alpen did it. And I messaged Tom and Patrick kind of at Quickes and I was like, what have you guys created? It is stunning. So if you smell it, it's not too great, right? I put it out there, you know, I'm a cheese lover, so I'm really going to like it. But people who are a little bit kind of on the edge, this one would be the stinky one. When you open your box, this is the one that's going to hit you. It's washed rind, so it's got that, but it's also on the paste of the cheese, so it is quite strong. It's hay, farmy, pongy, you know, no getting away from that. Flavour wise, texture, it's phenomenal. I mean, it just kind of dissipates straight away. Leave it out at room temperature, get it up there, because this is the best texture I've had it, and I've had this out for quite some time because the stream keeps on breaking. And the texture, when it's a little bit chilled, you know, even a little bit, you get this rubberiness, which some of you might like, but I would recommend not doing that. Just get it properly to room temperature, maybe even a little bit above it. And that breakdown really comes across. And in terms of flavour, you can't categorise it, you know? It's crazy. It's like, it's got that savoury element to it, but it's got like this real fruit, berry, apricot type finish. and then it just keeps on giving. Like right at the front, it hits you. I've given this to loads of people at Rennet and Rind and gone, taste this, it's amazing. And the first thing I see of them kind of like hit back kind of thing, and I'm like, oh my god, that's really strong. So I give them that, but then after a while, like I'm still tasting the longevity and the complexity, the way it changes, and you can be enjoying this cheese for like 10-15 minutes after, because the flavour is still there and it's powerful. So Alpencheddar, phenomenal cheese, so new on the market and just like pretty awesome. And now we move into another kind of, not experiment, but what they put in the Alpencheddar, Quickes. So as I was talking about, Mary, an amazing woman who makes fantastic cheese, has done amazing things for the cheese industry, is well famous for this Quickes mature cheddar, which I love. I love. You know, it's not as kind of crazy. Have we got a little, sorry. Oh, hooray. It's what, oh, Pina and Paola are on the stream. Sorry, yeah. Hi guys. Hope you enjoyed your cheese, or you're eating it now, you know. So, yeah. So, as we were talking about, Quickes mature. Quickes mature is like kind of not, you know, you've got Westcombe, you've got Montgomery, these really deep kind of savoury flavours. And I don't, you know, Quickes is a little bit more lighter than that and a little bit more real, you know, a little bit more kind of milky and kind of got those elements from it. So the smell there, there's tang, there's acidity, you know you're eating a cheddar, but there's a bit of that kind of hay farminess to it, which I'm guessing could be relatable to the Alpen. That's maybe what the Alpen has kind of latched onto. So it's cool to try these two cheeses together and kind of recognise maybe what one belongs to Germany, the flavour, and what one belongs to Britain, you know. Texture is beautiful. There's a good moisture in this, a good balance between dryness and moistness. Typical cheddar and a really nice savoury finish. Again, I mean, I love my savoury notes, so it's really nice to kind of get these in the board, because I think they're just so apart from, you know, sort of like the usual kind of flavours that you have in milk, you know, dairy, butter, whatever. When you get savoury, that's really unlocking kind of really weird, kooky amino acids that are coming in there. So I always think they're really quite cool. Beautiful cheddar. I mean, Quickes, well done. You're just knocking it out of the park. That is a lovely cheddar, you know. Last cheese is our own, the Duke. I think we might have had this before in weeks prior, but this is a cheese which we made ourselves in collaboration with a cheesemaker in Lincolnshire, and it's a cheese we're very proud of. We sent it to the World Cheese Awards when I wasn't judging, and thought we'll see how it gets on. And yeah, we got the news back that it's a Super Gold award winner, so that made it one of the best 62 cheeses in the world, which we were blown away by. I mean, it was pretty phenomenal. Let me just take a drink. So yeah, so and it's a phenomenal cheese. You know, we try and lean on sort of a Glaucon, Gorgonzola-esque, but not lose our Stiltonesque kind of history. You know, kind of in there. We want those flavours in there, but we want the creaminess in there as well. So let me cut a bit of this. Like I always say, just get stuck in. Don't worry about etiquette. If you want to worry about etiquette in cheese, you just need to retain the same shape. So if you've got a triangle, try and create a triangle. That's all really. But most cheesemakers just want you to dig in and enjoy what they do. So we've got a dusty rind here with the sort of familiar white, blue kind of moulds that are on there. You know, the rind, it's bitter. You know, there's that bitter, hoppy element. So if you've got it in front of you, give it a sniff, and you've got that hoppy kind of thing that's dancing around there, you know. And then the flavour, yeah, I mean, just look at that. I mean, it's Stiltonesque, but you kind of break it apart, and it's just sort of like claggy, and that's a good word, right, for cheese. Texture, if I don't mind saying so myself, it's absolutely bang on. You know, we've got that sort of dissipating softness that's there that you find in Gorgonzola, but still a little tiny bit of rigidity that's there. The bluing is well distributed. It's raw milk, so it's kind of an up and down cheese. You know, it's always difficult to work with raw milk. But that is really nice. That's like a kind of, at the moment, that's kind of borderline entry level blue, that is, for someone. You know, that's a converter, I think. You know, it's got those, the savoury notes are there, the bitterness is holding, and you know, we need a bit of bitterness in our cheese. It's kind of like wary kind of bitterness or something like that, which is pretty cool. And then the spiciness comes through, and then there's a bit of savoury dancing around there, a little bit of lactic, dairy, butter, grass, finishing just in a kind of like a more savoury bitter note intertwined. Sorting is perfect. I mean, you don't even recognise it. Could do with just a tiny bit more maybe, actually, you know. But that's our 5 cheeses. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Has anyone?
No, Pina just said her red wine is open and ready.
There you go, red wine and opened. So yeah, so you're on the red wine, I have Negronis, it's Friday night, long weekend, you know. Cheers to Pina and Paolo, you know. So I hope you guys, if there's no more questions, no? There's no more. So, but as always, you know, I love doing these mystery cheese boxes. Our industry, you know, British cheese is really under threat at the moment. And all you guys buying these mystery cheese boxes, it's been an amazing week for us. I mean, it's really, you know, taken us back how many boxes we did this week. I'm guessing for the bank holiday, and that's why I really wanted to focus on an amazing range of cheeses for you to really share with people, and hopefully they'll say wow. And, you know, you can say, you know, apart from this hybrid one, you know, the German British thing, but you know, you know, it's strong in Devon, so you know, we're really supporting the British cheese industry together, and all together we're, you know, get through this, which is so important. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it'll be over all soon enough. And the British cheese industry, which we've worked so hard for, will still be there and will be one of the sort of envies of the world, which I've believed it has been for many of years. So please all enjoy your mystery cheese boxes. Have a lovely weekend, a bank holiday weekend. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see you again soon. If you've got any questions, email me, you know, hello@rennettandrind.co.uk. Give me a shout. I love hearing from you. I think I've spoken to the majority of you by now, actually, about the intricacies of cheese. So have a great weekend, and thank you so much.